Well, we're going to try the tripod if we need to. We've got 3 pumpkin pies, 2 turtle doves, partridge in a pear tree, and pecans. Apples for apple crisp, and our organic Kirkland chicken broth that was sent to us by a friend who also sent us these giant pecans in a bag. Stovetop stuffing, regular stuffing. I've got the Pepperidge Farm, because Pepperidge Farm remembers. Pepperidge Farm remembers. So here we are at the campground kitchen, and we're searching through drawers, looking at utensils, things that we're going to need. Ooh, we need that stuff, don't we? Yes, we do. Got a spoon. That's seen some better days, hasn't it? This is our broth. I've been letting it boil down for a while, and so we've taken that out. Now we're going to add our broth to that. Matter of fact, push down to look up. So we'll get that going here. So the Munson family has invited us for dinner tomorrow, and so we're going to do that. I did a turkey breast, then I went and did the live stream for Friday night, and came back and it was already cooked. I turned the oven down. Good thing I did. Maybe this oven runs a little hot. So we're going to take this piece of turkey here, and we're going to oh, I'm supposed to just use this little piece of turkey here that was boiling in there for the last 2 hours. I want to take that, break that down, get any meat off that turkey back that I can, put it in the gravy, and then add all this juice and everything that's in here, and make myself a nice gravy. Gravy. So underneath the turkey, though, is celery and parsley, and all that has been cooking under here, adding lots of flavor to the meat. And we're gonna take all that over there and let that get washed into the oh yeah. Let that get washed into our gravy. This is paint, by the way. So, and then see, after it's been boiling so long, that's going to just come apart, and I'll be able to get all that meat off of there and put it in our gravy. And then this, of course, is a crust of ginger and garlic and thyme and poultry seasoning. And I like to coat so that I get a really, really crusty crust. Joy absolutely loves the crusty crust of turkey skin. So I make sure that I do that just for her. But this one's for me. I'm going to take the tin foil. Make a little spout for the glory to come out, and add that to our gravy. And all these little pieces of celery, we'll put those in. Those have been baking underneath our turkey. No parsley, though. No parsley for you. No soup for you. Okay. Yeah. Wonderful. Boy, look at that. Sorry. Wasn't supposed to do that. And that is the back. Right down there by where the thighs come in. See how that breaks up so nicely? Look at that. It's too hot to handle right now, though. I don't know if you've ever heard of the term the oyster. but that's part of it. It's right underneath the thigh bone. Look at that. Heavy with hard work. Flavorful. Most of the fat boiled away. Muzzle! Muzzle! Must there always be violence? I don't know. And then there's the bottom part of the turkey neck. Because these turkey breasts don't come with any giblets or neck or anything, so that's about it right there. So we're done with that. We have beautiful gravy. All right, moving along. And there's our water for that going on. Okay, here's our parsley and cut board where we made up our stuff for earlier. Take this back over here. That on high. Okay, that's going to be for potatoes, gravy, turkey. We also have to have enough gravy base to add to my stuffing too. Stuffing. There you go. Okay, a little bit more. Sunny side up. Why? Because it's pretty. Prettier. All right. So let's make our stuffing. We're going to make pecan stuffing. Okay, that works. And we're going to make it in this here bowl. Right there. Let's see. There's the bowl, there's the cutting board. You can learn a few things on how to cut vegetables quickly and easily with me. I will definitely show you how to get that done. We will be using stick o' butter. We will be using Mr. Dozen eggs. We will probably use several eggs, onion, yeah. All right. And here's my knife, which I have duly sharpened. Uh-oh, we're at low battery. Hang on. Well, I have the little square thing to plug into the wall with me, but I can't find it. I must have dropped it or going onto the car. Hang on. We're back. And we're charging. All is well. Okay. So, how do you chop up celery really small is a good question. People ask it all the time. How do I chop up celery really small without chopping and chopping and chopping and chopping and chopping and chopping and pieces get away and all that kind of stuff? Well, pretty easy. We're gonna make it even. And the way to do it is like this. can slice it again. You do that. Just get as close to the edge as you can and pull the whole thing down like that. Yeah, we got 4 out of this one. Ooh, maybe even a 5th one. Oh, don't let it break the chain. Yeah, look at that. One more. We'll get one, another, and another. All right. So then, line them up like that. Get your hand squared away like that. How are we doing light-wise? That's okay. We don't have under-counter lights here or anything, do we? No. All right. I could have picked a spot with more light. And you don't just go straight down, you go forward as you go straight down. Back your hand up a little bit. Back your hand up a little bit. Did I decide how many quarts or cups or ounces I'm using? Only in my heart. I have no idea. Celery into the stuffing thing. You know what? No, those aren't any good. I'll tell you what, we need one more, I can tell. All right, really quick this time. Yep, that feels better. That looks like the amount I want to have in there. How about if we move this and this and this and that. All right. Oh, hey, this is a good example. So I've had this onion in the refrigerator for a while. As you can see, it has gone bad in a certain area here. I just cut right there and peel that right there. You don't want to lose the good part. You just want to take off the bad part. That's the only part that would taste any different than you would really expect. That's all real good. That's all real not. All right. Some people say, cut it one way, cut it the other way. Oh, cut it out. I don't care. Some cut it one direction, some cut it the other. Some say, oh, if you cut it this way, you don't cry as much. Or you cut it underwater, you don't cry as much. You know, by the time you're deciding all that, I'm done cutting. So I don't deal with it. So I did that one that way. I'll do this one the other direction for you who feel you should go the other way first. Then we just turn it. We lay it over a little bit. Onions aren't quite as picky. The quicker you go, the better, of course. They do have an aerosol that gets into the air. Alright, anybody too big to deal with? A couple right there, a couple right there. particularly like this handle. It's supposed to be real ergonomic and great, but my fingers hit the cutting board and it just doesn't fit. Although it is specially made for fingers, and your thumb goes right there and all that, and it's supposed to be all this expensive design and ergonomic and all that. Still doesn't work. The one I've got from Germany, my knife I've renamed the Captain, who is in storage. That's a knife. He's even got a counterbalance. So he makes quick work out of everything. All right, so there's my onions. There's that. Oh, and we're back. Okay, so I just finished the onions when the video quit. There was not enough room. I had to make space. So I did the onions, then I chopped up the pecans. So I have onions, pecans, everything with butter underneath there to melt. And I'm putting that on the grill. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of chopped parsley to that mix. I don't know. There's just something about parsley that I like that makes my day. Just something fresh. It's a beautiful thing. It's a flavorful thing. It doesn't take much. Let that butter melt. Just remember, I don't want to caramelize it. I just want to soften it. All right, so now we've got that. Take our bowl that had all of our vegetables in it, rinse it out, back. Stuffing mix. Don't be afraid to make too much stuffing. It freezes well. Oh goodness. Things just don't want to cooperate. All right. Oh, now you know that is probably a lot of salt right there. I'm going to take that back out, that little seasoning part there. Not even going to let that get into my stuff. I have. No, I don't. Okay, so. No, I haven't forgotten about you. So we got that going. And if you've ever read the directions for stuffing on how to do stuffing in casserole, prepare saucepan, butter, celery, vegetables, broth, heat to a boil, remove saucepan, heat stuffing mix lightly, mix it all in. You probably will not find an egg. Oh, look, there's pecans. Ha ha ha. So I did that right. And you will not find an egg in here. But when I was in the military, we used to add scrambled eggs to our stuffing and mix it into the bread. And it would help the stuffing stay fluffy and light and not collapse down into a rock. I don't know if you've ever had rock stuffing, but oh, it's so irritating. All right. Let's see. Oh, they got a pretty good potato peeler here. Bang. Pow, 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 pow. Look at those cartridges fly off that potato gun. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Anybody ever make a tennis ball cannon when they were a kid? Oh, we used to fire them things out of sight. It had its own way too, because if you made, but you couldn't make it too strong. You couldn't make it too strong, because if you put too much fluid in, it wouldn't go off right. If you didn't put enough fluid in, it wouldn't fly very high. So you couldn't kill yourself with them. Although I did look over the edge of one time that went off, and boy did the front hairs on my forehead flap as that tennis ball went by at 150 miles an hour. I always wondered if you could use that playing tennis. The old tennis ball cannon. We'll probably should do that too. We're gonna put a little bit of this parsley in the water. I am boiling my potatoes in. Let's see, a little bit. That's better. Don't you love to see somebody peel potatoes? KP, Kitchen Patrol. Kitchen duty. Lots of fun. I can hear my saute is ready. And we'll put that on. Plus I'm wasting water. That's better. Oh, if I could think of a good cook story. I had a kitchen that had a sanitizer. It was a dishwasher, but it wasn't made to wash all the filth off the dishes. After you wash the dishes by hand and get them, 80 or 90% clean, you would put them on a rack and put them into the sanitizer. The sanitizer sat there with at 180 degrees. And as soon as you hit the handle, you could put the dishes in there and it would wash them in 5 minutes at 180 degrees. And but you couldn't put any food in there. I mean, you could put a little degreaser or something, and dish soap in there, dishwasher soap, but it wasn't really meant for that. So one day I was making burritos for lunch. How do you keep 20 burritos warm? And I did smell that potato. So I'm standing there, and the steam coming out of that dishwasher caught my eye. And I thought, oh my goodness. So I rolled up the 20 burritos, put them on a sheet pan, and put them in that dishwasher. Oh my goodness. When chow time came, I had gotten busy with something else and forgot about them. I think they were in there for a half an hour. And I'd forgotten about them because I was doing the rest of the meal. And stuff happens on a ship where, you just, all of a sudden you get taken away. So, anyway, chow time was running late. And I said, okay, cook, go ahead and feed the crew. And so that's when I thought about them again. And I opened up that sanitizer. And you wouldn't believe it. It was the 20 of the most beautiful, steaming, hot, soft burritos you'd ever seen. They were gorgeous. So we called them dishwasher burritos. Hey, cook, when are we having dishwasher burritos again? Honestly, they would ask me that question. When are we having dishwasher burritos again? That's what I used to do. Come up with some crazy thing like that. I would say, I'm gonna see what 3 eggs scrambled looks like. Now that's too thick to pour on there. So what you do is you get your gravy base. You get your chicken gravy base. And you mix that in. You know, it kind of breaks it up like French toast when you add milk for French toast and everything. You lose the snottiness. All right, so we got that. And we're going to do this. Like that. Then we're going to take some of our gravy base that we have over here. And we're going to add that. Probably should add some cold to that, cool that off. And that's in. And then we get our sauteed onions and celery and pecans. Put that in. Okay, now let's just say I made this too strong, or too much water, or too wet, or it just didn't come out right. You can always add more bread. Open up another box of stuffing mix, and I guess I should be stirring this towards you so that you can see. Look at that. Beautiful. All right. How we doing on where the camera is? Okay. We're doing pretty good on where the camera is. Yeah. Okay, so then Mr. Stuffing, all the ingredients and everything goes right in here. And let me tell you what, this is thick. I can feel the weight of it. I can also hear my potatoes cooking like crazy. So I went over and closed all the doors that I've been opening. All right. Now this is something good too, as far as you portion this out rather small. You know, this is something you would portion out if you had like I've, got 10, 15 people to feed. You would use just that much, that much per person. You wouldn't use a lot per person. As you can see, no extra salt, no extra seasoning. You don't want it to be overpowering because you want everything to blend. And I can put this right in the oven. So that's in the oven at 325 for an hour. Once I see it start to get a little brown and crispy on top, I'm going to take it out and put a piece of tin foil on it. And then that'll probably be it. It'll be ready. Take about 45 minutes. Okay. Well, let's see. I guess the next thing to do would be to take our little ultra bottle and our little scrubby dubby, hot water. I got hot quick. It must be nearby. Okay. Saute pan can go down in there. Garbage can come out. Oh, I got a lot of potato peels, so I got this extra bag and trash in my sink, so I'm gonna take that and surround all those potato peels with the bag. In it goes. Pumpkin pie. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we are going to be using cinnamon. And those are both cinnamon. And there's my pumpkin pie spice. And pumpkin pie spice that's left over. Might have enough in there. No ginger. No salt. No peppermint. Oh, what's this one? Poultry? Poultry. That's for my gravy. Red pepper. Nope. Crab boil. Nope. All right. Whoops. Now this one does not have, as I recall, the pumpkin recipe on it. That's right. All right, so once again, a failure of communication. What we have here today is a failure to communicate. What movie was that from? All right, so we got our 6 eggs, our cinnamon, and our spices. I have no idea why there is no sugar on that thing. So we are putting sugar into our pie. So most of the time you put a cup of sugar in. Let's see here. But for me, I like to cut my sugar down. And so I use the Trevino sugar, not any kind of white processed sugar. I use regular sugar. It's more golden, which is why people don't want to use it, because it's not as clean. Turns things darker colors. But the processing takes the sugar's natural ability to work with you and not hurt you away. So 1 cup of sugar for 3 pies. And same for the Truvia. Maybe 3/4 of a cup for Truvia. Truvia is a lot stronger. I like Truvia. I don't like doing corn sweeteners. You know, I don't believe in maltodextrin or anything like that. But Truvia can taste a little tinny if you've got too much of it. So I might even pour all that in. I might just keep some of that out. And so then we got 3 of these cans to put in. Shake well. whoa, #1 button. Am I missing something there? Oh, it does go higher. Oh my goodness. You've either got high or off. Two and three. Somehow I feel like all these bubbles are not a good idea for pumpkin pie. What do you think? I've never seen such a thing before. My goodness. I didn't bring mine because I saw there was one here when I did my inspection earlier, and I said, oh, good, I can use theirs. Eesh. All right, so 3 of those. Now comes the 3 pumpkins. Oh, I'm gonna check my potatoes. Yeah. Turning the mashed potatoes off. Alright. I don't suppose you'd cooperate and just come out. Ooh, the sound is changing. All right. Almost all of it did. We'll take that. Yeah, we will. Problem with making plants so valuable, they start thinking too much of themselves and don't want to give up their lives for the cause of you feeding human beings. They start thinking, oh, you know, we were here before you, and we'll be here after you, so we're not feeding you. Starve. Yep, that's the problem with lifting up planet Earth to be Mother and God. You cannot worship the creation, only the Creator. Oh, wouldn't you know it would hit the floor open side down. Well, at least it doesn't spin. Flip it everywhere. Here we go. On high #1. Now, I'm not one for tasting pumpkin pie stuff ahead of time. It's raw eggs and it's, you know, stuff you really don't need to be eating. But in this case, with the Truvia, okay, I'm not tasting the tinniness. Got the pumpkin, got the sugar, got the eggs. 3, 3, 3. That looks pretty thin though. Should we add one more egg just to make sure she comes out firm? Well, no, if you add one more egg, then you lose the... So, all right. So, yep, I do taste a little bit of that Truvia back flavor. So I'm not gonna put any more in. But you see, usually they want like, you know, 3/4 of a thing of this. Well, we'll put that into something else. We'll put that into our cookies. All right. So we are using pie pans we had from before. bit of dust here. These are the kind of pie pans that they're strong enough to save them if you keep them around, and you can wash them. The knife won't go through while you're cutting the pie. And you can use them again. But they're also cheap enough that if you want to send some home with somebody, you can do that too. So these are ready. You know, I could even do that. I could just take a little butter. And just make sure that, you know, they're not real sticky. Can you believe this stuff's up to $4 a box now? Can you imagine that? If you made a two-crust pie, two-crust cry. It would cost you $4 to make a two-crust cry, or a two-cry crust. So, another thing I recommend is that you keep this stuff in the refrigerator until the moment you need it. It's a little shiny. That means it's gotten warm, and that could cause it to lose its flakiness. You want this as cold as possible when you use it. It's a little harder to open when it gets warm. You don't want it to stick to itself. Yep, see, it's starting to stick to itself. Yeah. Now this is the one that I had left over from the cabin. This one's been waiting in the refrigerator for a month to be used. So I'm not surprised it does not have the best attitude and want to be helpful. I am not surprised. Not surprised it has a dry spot too. I didn't think I had opened it, that's for sure. But I certainly must have done something, because right there it looks more like a noodle than a pie crust. All right. We'll cut that piece off and put that over there. All right. Get rid of those shabby pieces. All right. Now here's the pie crust we bought today. Now watch how this one works. See, this is real pretty. Look at that. See how quickly that unrolls? It's still got the flour on it. So we'll put that flour side down. Different color altogether. Much better. So keep that in mind, and remember which pie you don't want to eat. So you can say, oh, Don, I remember I watched you make those pies. I want the one that was from today. Okay. I'm going to turn this recording off. And you can guess what happens from here. Got that all pressed down. Do that real quick. And as you can see, this goes right in there like that. Fill it up pretty cool, pretty full like that. And that. And the other one. All right. Mashed potato time. Okay, half a stick of butter. Now, I don't know why people didn't think of this years ago. We all like to put sour cream on our potato at the restaurant. But nobody thinks to add sour cream to their mashed potatoes, even though that's exactly what they do at home. Is they make mashed potatoes at home, And nobody thinks to add sour cream, so I usually add a good dollop of sour cream to my mashed potatoes. When I make mashed potatoes, half a stick of butter. Also in this case too, milk has 150 salts in it, and sour cream does not. Sour cream sodium is only 15, and milk is 150 to 190. So I'm saving a lot on salt too. The potatoes, a normal sized potato has about 10 milligrams of salt. So you figure there's, 100 to 150 in here already. What's up, Mr. Mixer? You gotta go to number 2 or 3 here. That usually doesn't happen with russet potatoes. I've seen that happen with other kinds of potatoes, but not russet potatoes. Let me take my gravy taster. See what I got here. Good, good, good. It's very different when you're not adding salt to the potatoes. Very different. And they're not, still got a few chunks that didn't cook, I guess. I've never seen potatoes climb up a beater like that before. But it is an aftermarket beater. Not exactly top of the line, but hey, who's complaining? All right. Potatoes are ready for tomorrow. Sour cream gets the lid snapped on it. Oat flour. Oat flour is gluten-free. And it has a little bit of more of a nutty taste, has a flavor of its own, not quite like flour. But I use it when I make cookies. I use it also when I thicken gravy. Because, let's see, is there any left in there? Okay. It works very good for thickening gravy. I've got regular flour for my cookies, and I also have self-rising flour to make biscuits. But I didn't bring any milk. So self-rising flour is really good for making biscuits. If you happen to remember to bring milk. And I didn't. That's my last thing to do then, while I'm waiting on my pies and I'll start a general cleanup, is to make my gravy. So, gravy. Take that gravy off, put a saucepan on there, turn up the heat. So we'll use half a stick of butter. That'll be fun. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the cookies. Everybody remembers the Toll House cookie recipe, right? 2 1/4 cups of flour. Isn't it 2 eggs, 3/4 of a cup brown sugar, 3/4 of a cup white sugar. In this case, we'll use the Truvia as well. Take a look at my, whoa. There we go. My stuffing. Because remember when you put pumpkin pie in, you have to put it in at 425 degrees for 20 minutes. Then you turn it down to 350. I just started smelling something burning. All right. That stuffing is solid. and heavy. All right, finish melting the butter. Now that's a cookie baking bowl if I ever saw. Butter's ready. Half a stick of butter. And this is no cholesterol, no trans fats, no palm oil, Agrina. I've been trying this out for making cookies and stuff like that more healthy. I can't say they turn out better or worse or at all different. Use that Truvia and that whatever turbino sugar I told you about. Then we're going to get out Monster Bag. This is Monster Bag of brown sugar. Someone didn't realize, they thought it was like 3 pounds. I thought it's the only thing they sold, you know, it's like bulk, one of those bulk stores. So I was like, oh great, so they just told me, I bought you a big bag of brown sugar. And little did I know, it was a millennium bag of brown sugar that will last me till the next millennium. So I have to figure out how to store that. And there we go. Millennium brown sugar. I personally choose not to add the salt. Alright. That was a little bit of peppermint. And here is the vanilla extract. A little drip of that. Toodly-two. I don't know about you, but I'm one of them silly people that seems to put sound effects with a lot of measurements. Things that I do. Okay. So now we need Mr. Baking soda, baking powder. One good teaspoon of that. So we've got our oil, powder, all our dry ingredients. Okay, that's going to get creamed up. So, got my melted butter, got my water, got my oat flour, got my gravy back on the heat, got my wire whip. And of course there's a difference, you know, how your ingredients, you know, it's a roux slurry type of thing. Roux tend to, you have to cook them and things like that, and then there's, you know, a non-cooked roux, and there's cooked roux, and roux. I like the butter for the flavor. I like the butter for the oil. And I have a Husky, which most of you know about. She has her own channel, Angel the Husky. And when I take her for walks, I hold the leash, but then I have another part of the leash that I use to bring over here to the belt loop. And boy, just... she'll tug on this belt loop and it will not come loose, and everything's fine. But then all of a sudden, she'll just get one little thought, or just one little, okay, let's go home. And she turns and puts her weight forward and poof, pow, just like that. It's amazing. Kind of like when we're thinking about it, no problem. All right, that seems to be thick enough. All right, so you get things moving. And in it goes nice and slowly. Let's see if we're making any lumps. It seems to be blending nicely. It's thickening nicely. Is this on? Yep, it's on. I'm definitely going to want it a lot thicker than that. Definitely going to want it a lot thicker than that. So, since I'm out of chicken broth, and chicken broth is too salty anyway, I'm just going to go to more water and flour. And we'll see how this thickens. Might give it a minute or two here to thicken. But that's why everybody uses white flour, because you know you get this beautiful glossy gravy. You know. Okay, so that's ready. We'll give that one more minute. Oh yeah, well let's cream the oily ingredients first. The sugar. When it used to matter to me who knew, and I didn't want people to know, I have a special way of making like, ooh, that is getting thicker on its own. Boy, that's getting nice. That doesn't need a whole lot more at all. Not that much. Not that much should do it. Like, how come my chocolate chip cookies were fluffier and better than everybody else's? What was it that I would do that would make my cookies better? Well, what I never told anybody before today was that what I did was I kept the yolk aside. Oh, that one's stuck in there. Come on, baby. Come out for daddy. He would say, oh, really? That's right. So I hold the yolk aside because you probably didn't know that egg whites will fluff up. And so I would always foam up my egg whites first. Really foam them. And then I'd put my yolks in. You are the gravy king. All right, so that's gravy. That there, that's gravy. That's gravy. Decent flavor. Now, why would you make it thick? Well, because this gravy here is going to get thicker, and because it's going to get thinner because somebody else is making turkey tomorrow. And so that means it's going to get some turkey juice. Some more turkey juice put in it. Now, I don't know how oat flour is about breaking and things like that. There are certain things that you can do that will break. You get this, like I've done it with like tapioca flour, trying to get away from cornstarch and flour and all those things. I was trying different things, almond flour, tapioca flour, different flours that would get me a nice gravy. And but either it turned to jelly, like, you know, I'm like Jell-O, or it would break and go right back to being completely liquidy. That freaked me out. So I'm turning this off. That's plenty thick. All right, so you want to see the magic? This is the magic kitchen bouquet. Kitchen bouquet. Used a lot of this when I was in the military. It was the only way to make the gravy brown, let me tell you. One little dash of that. Man, look at that. That gives you some looking gravy right there. Look at that. Amazing. It went from kind of beigey blah looking to a nice gravy. Of course, that's got a little bit of vegetable in it, a little bit of meat in it. All the flavors from the previous pan. We got some Martha White self-rising flour. Goodness gracious, it's pig picking good. One, and two. Now the second one, you kind of heat that one up, as I recall. Now here's the problem with this mixer. I just thought about that. This thing's gonna come on high. So I'm gonna do a blonde mixer. And as soon as I see most of the powder that could fly, okay. Has anybody seen me? Uh-oh. Has anybody seen me add an egg to this? I did the thing. No, I don't think I added my egg. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure haven't added an egg. All right. Maybe I did. Nope, I don't think I did. Because I had 3 left. Oh! Fudge. I did the foam and the egg. Oh, I just added a 3rd egg. Oh, good. Well, I haven't mixed it in. Then we'll just take that right back out. Okay. Shoot. Oh, that should be good. That should be good. I turned the heat off, but I like glass top. Easy to clean, and it stays hot a long time, so you can let stuff simmer without having any power on. Just depends on what you're used to. But I like glass top because, you know, I could pour this off, go clean the pan, put the pan back on there, and the pan would dry. So that's amazing how that went out of my head that I put eggs in there. Feels okay. If I was to say, I would say it's a little bit like greasy. Tastes a little greasy. So let's do, have we already done our oat flour? No. done with the old flour with the gravy. Nah, let's save our old flour. We're gonna add another 3/4 of a cup here, half a cup of flour. See what that feels like. Okay. So now, let's get out our Italian chocolate pieces. Open those up. If this doesn't shatter, if it just slices, nope. Kind of shattering. So we'll just do that. Anyway, this is Italian chocolate. We did a Christmas Eve service. Oh, by the way, it is Christmas Eve. And I really didn't get paid till this evening. And, but anyway. We spent all our money on other people in the last 2 weeks, and that's been just wonderful. We haven't even thought about ourselves a whole lot, and we just feel very comfortable that way. Okay, and then here, shake a few of those in there like that. I put a little peppermint oil in there, don't forget. Mr. Gravy Spoon just volunteered. And you don't want to run the mixer too many times. Once the dough settles, so it looks like I have not been on screen. Once the dough settles, you don't want to use the mixer again. So this is the Italian chocolate chopped into pieces. Some of this in there, some peppermint oil in there. Goodness gracious, pea picking good. Good old flour and all the ingredients for there. So that's good. Now we need Mr. Cookie Sheet. To put these on. Wouldn't it be nice to find a little ice cream scoop? So all right, so we're going to put these on here, just like that. What do you think? 3? It always reminds me to pray for people. I was pretty mean as a kid. Pretty mean. Nice kid, but I was mean. And I was the kind of kid that other kids wanted to beat up. Because I was outspoken, but usually speaking useless things. Very irritating. No self-consciousness. That one can stand alone. That one needs that much help at least. And of course I really don't know with that extra flour, maybe these won't flatten out with that extra flour. I don't know what would have happened with 3 eggs. 3 eggs. Wouldn't that have been something? I remember making a cake one time and putting in an extra bunch of eggs. I think the eggs were old or they were getting rid of them and they said, use them up somehow. So I put them in the cake and the cake turned out to be as strong as a doormat. You could step on it. It had so much in it. So I learned a lesson on not putting too many eggs in a cake. And honest goodness, you could step on it. I threw it down in front of the door of the galley. Said, hey, look at that. We found a use for my cake. You couldn't eat it. What do you say? We tap them down a little bit now that our hands are wet from washing. Washed our hands. And because if we tap them down, we can see where we're at size-wise. All right. How's the pie doing? Give the pie a little jiggle, and you can see they're still jiggling pretty good. So we can bump that down 10 degrees. My stuffing. I just thought, hey, you know what I'll do? I'll turn that pie pan sideways before it gets too hot and just get these in right now. That way we get all the cookies done at once. Oh, dang. Guess what I forgot to do? Well, you know what? I think you're supposed to wait till the end anyway. That's right. I think I have to wait till the end anyway. Good. We'll get one more cookie out of this bowl. Do not have a flat spatula here. That is... Even a soft one would have been nice, even if it wasn't flat. Even if it was soft, that would have been nice. But you know what? When you want what you want, you bring it with you. Quit complaining. Sorry. Didn't mean to. Like, I want to listen to you complain. No, I know you don't. Sorry. I don't want to listen to me complain either. Just yakking out loud. Anything that comes to mind. All right. Good enough. Now these, I'm going to try a little different at this one. Let's see if they burn or what happens to them. Do that little tap down thing, but this time we're going to put candy on there. Ooh, can you see that? Yes, you can. And we're gonna push it in. Oh yeah. And I think I tried this once before, and all the little pieces on the sheet pan ended up getting cooked and hard to get off. So it's probably why I didn't remember. We had a bad experience. All right. So, pie's doing good. Cookies are in. Cook time, start time, clock, timer. Okay. Timer. 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 Well, okay. I don't know if that means minutes. 10 minutes. Let's see what that means. And then start. Nope, cancel. 10. Clock, enter. 10 minutes, all right. Now I want my temperature to go up. And then gravy. That's good. All right, so there we go. Gravy and the meat. Oh. And my stuffing. Pecan stuffing. Onions, celery, sauteed, pecans chopped up. Oh yeah. And it's late at night, and Donnie's happy. At the end of the shows of Grand Care, the Galloping Gourmet, he would have a bite of the food, and his lips would always be glossy from the oil. And then he would go grab someone from the audience to come and try it. That's very satisfying. Now, when that gravy gets some more drippings from a pan, it'll be outstanding. Right now, it's really good. So, this is Donny Wheeler. Gravy, stuffing, mashed potatoes. Cookies are in the oven. Pies are in the oven. The only thing I didn't get to do, maybe I'll do that, was the cranberry. All right, love you much.
This is what Donnie's got on his plate.
Green bean casserole, ribbon, bow tie macaroni and cheese, gravy, my gravy over the potatoes and the turkey, and my special pecan stuffing.
Carrots and sweet potato yams.
Yeah, these are sweet potato carrots.
Vegetables over here. This is mine right here. Turkey gravy, deviled eggs. What's this right here? I guess
A little bit of my stuffing.
stuffing.
Donnie went and grabbed me some cranberry sauce, and it is that childhood memory along with those deviled eggs. Yum.